all those being affected by the coronavirus outbreak, not just in America but worldwide. Okay, and for those that are joining us via conference, if you could mute your phones if you're not talking, that way we can limit some of the background noise, that would be much appreciated.
All right, Mr. Supervisor, I'll just note during these unusual and trying times that this meeting is being conducted pursuant to the Executive Order number 202.1 dated March 12th, 2020 of the Governor of the State of New York, and the requirements of the Open Meetings Law have been modified such that the public can be excluded from the meeting as long as the audio can be heard. If it's a conference call, or in this case, as long as a live simulcast can be shown to the public and they are able to hear.
Okay, thank you, Will, we appreciate that. So the first item on the agenda is our coronavirus response update. Obviously, I've been updating the board members every step of the way. Last Friday, we had our first state of the emergency announced, and going through to this week, as items have changed and as the governor has put executive orders out there, we've done our best to follow suit and ensure that we are doing everything that we can do at the town level and within our community to make sure that we do not enhance this coronavirus outbreak, the pandemic. So what we did originally was we established who essential personnel would be in each department, and as certain services were shutting down or being limited, we allowed individuals to work from home or be sent home if they were not identified as essential to the town of Montgomery functioning during these times. So it's been interesting and creative to do that. We did it through our department head meetings. We had our department heads evaluate their own departments and then give me a recommendation as to who could be sent home, who could work from home. And we are currently operating below 50% threshold. I believe there was some statements by the governor about private business being below 25%. Until I actually see an executive order, we are still going to adhere to the 50% threshold in this municipality. We did close to the public earlier this week, and we are seeing residents on a absolute extreme cases by appointment only, and those cases have been limited. Our staff has been doing a tremendous job at the town to make sure that we educate residents who have issues and point them in the right direction and let them know that we are obviously still open for business, but trying to limit contact and ensure individuals stay at home and practice social distancing as much as humanly possible. One thing, a couple things that we did do proactively is we established a emergency response committee that included all 3 village mayors, our 4 fire districts, and our battalion commander, and the town of Montgomery Ambulance Corps, and other local stakeholders. We've been on the phone communicating with each other. I've been asking what their needs are and if the town can fill any of those needs. A couple weeks ago, as all this began, we got a little ahead of it, and we asked Medline to drop off some particular items that we thought would be on back order that did begin to become on back order. So we want to thank Medline Industries for stepping up and for offering those items to us. We have been able to distribute them to the local town of Montgomery Ambulance Corps when they need items, and also the fire districts, who also have lists very long that they're requesting because items are in back order currently. So we're doing our best to fill those needs, to identify what those needs are, and then act accordingly. And I've really been enjoying working with our leaders in those different organizations. The other thing we did is we created a Town of Montgomery community response team to the coronavirus outbreak. We started with local churches and faith-based organizations, our own service organizations like Rotary and our veterans groups, Town of Montgomery Senior Independence Project, Walnut Community Council, the Town of Montgomery Food Pantry. And what I did is we established a conference call line, and we're keeping everyone in tune to what the needs are in our community, especially those that are most at risk, like our senior population and other at-risk families. We've been also communicating every step of the way with our school district to ensure that we are on the same page, that we're sharing resources and information, and if there is a need, again, we can potentially hopefully fill that need whether it's communication or supplies or a combination of both. Some of the needs that have shown themselves in terms of the school district and our service organizations are seniors who need meals delivered to them, families who rely on the breakfast and lunches and the backpack snack attack for our school district. And what we've been able to do is have a call to service, and anyone who is interested in the community volunteering, we've having them call town hall, and we've created a database of volunteers. I'm happy to announce that Megan is managing. That's full of dozens of volunteers who have stepped up and said they want to help you, whether it's a senior in need or a local family, they're ready to help and volunteer. So as needs have come, we've been able to connect volunteers with service organizations to provide rides to doctor's appointments. Because what we found is a lot of the volunteers that are members of these service organizations, they're seniors. And they're individuals who are at most at risk to having a negative outcome if they are in contact with the coronavirus. So we're getting very creative. We're asking the younger generations to step up at this time and volunteer, and they've been answering the call. So those are just a couple things in response to the coronavirus outbreak that we've been doing here. Happy to get any comments from you guys and suggestions. I want to thank Cindy Voss for helping with the business community aspect of it, and Randy Green and Brian Fitzpatrick. And I want to thank Kristen Brown for helping with the community aspect. She called a lot of the faith-based organizations prior to our first conference call. But I'm happy to hear any suggestions that you guys have going forward.
Brian, I know the Community Foundation is setting up possible grants that we might be eligible for putting in for. They've established a fund, I think it's initially $185,000, and there's small money like that. Did you hear anything on that from Community Foundation people, Biz Valid in particular?
Yes, I have a letter here. The Orange County Orange and Sullivan Community Foundation has stepped up to help our local nonprofit organizations who are on the front lines, and they will be offering grants up to $5,000 for local nonprofits. So organizations like Tom Sip, organizations like Town Montgomery Food Pantry, First Reformed Church, who's been doing the Backpack Snack Attack program with our local Valley Central School District, if they are encumbered a little too much by what they're doing on overdrive over the next several weeks or months, they will be eligible to apply for this program. And I just want to say, a local family, the Rowley family, Rich Rowley, he helped donate $50,000 to establish this fund that's got over $185,000 in it to help local nonprofit organizations who are serving our community at this time. So I don't know if that question was about we as a municipality. We won't be eligible. We shouldn't be eligible. We are not. But this is for local nonprofits who are answering the call right now who may be strapped. And also a point made by a Dickie Baxter actually recently. A lot of these organizations rely on golf outings, social events that are fundraisers that have been canceled to fund a lot of the services they provide. So this is really going to be huge for those local nonprofits. So definitely kudos to the Community Foundation for putting this together.
Hey Brian, it's Kristen. I did hear also, it was nice to get the roll call from the school district today. So kudos to them, and they did add a fifth location at Sleepy Hollow Trailer Park, according to the roll call. So trying to continue to get the word out there to our community that there are the grab and go programs for the kids in our school district to get free breakfast and lunches. So that's going to be Monday through Friday as long as school is recessed. I'm not sure if that includes spring break. Don't be on that, I'm not positive. But Mike Bilros did say that it's going to continue as long as school is closed.
Correct, and we're a little jumbled here with the connection for the conference line, but what Councilman Brown was referring to was the school district's program for the grab and go for breakfast and lunches. They added a location, Sleepy Hollow Trailer, and that's going to be for tomorrow at 9:15 a.m., I believe, to 10:15 a.m. And then Monday through Friday, there are 4 other locations for breakfast and lunches for our Valley Central students at East Coldenham, Maybrook, Walden Elementary, and Valley Central Middle School. And thank you, Kristen, for volunteering your time to help. I know that on day one they needed some extra bodies. I'm pretty sure they're all set now as they've let us know, but thank you for that information. Anything else from the board?
My pleasure. Brian,
Since we did the call with the businesses the other day, I've been watching Facebook, and Randy's been driving a lot of this. I think a lot of the businesses are teaming up to offer services together to just kind of reinvent themselves, the same business. Local pizza places offering, the making of a pie, so you can go home and make your own pizza. So I think some of that stuff we discussed on that meeting the other day, and I know Randy did drive a lot of that, is I see that starting to happen in our community.
Yeah, and again, I apologize for anyone watching live. The connection is poor. It looks like a lot of individuals are trying to tap into this conference line on different rooms. What Councilman Voss was saying is we've been in touch with our business community. She was giving kudos to Randy Green, our new IDA board member, for really spearheading some of those efforts to promote our businesses, and also just the creativity of our business community to support each other. They've been having, I know Bonnie Seton Garden Florist is teaming up with local lunch eateries like The Table, where they had bouquets and burgers for $25. You got some flowers and a burger. I got one for my wife today. So it's really trying times. It's really tough times. And I'm certainly really proud of individuals stepping up and our business community stepping up. And we really need to do our best to support them as much as possible. Anything else before we move on? Is Nikki Jones on the call? All right, absent her being here, I am going to table the town Facebook Messenger app discussion on the coronavirus. We have a poor connection, so even if she was on the call, I'm not sure the conversation would be very meaningful. We wouldn't be able to hear her. But this is a new application that we were going to discuss that potentially, if this outbreak got as bad as it could, it's an automated system that would allow individuals to ask questions via our Facebook Messenger or our website and to get automated responses based on testing locations, testing sites, and symptoms related to the coronavirus outbreak. Currently, we're able to manage it in-house, whether it's myself or Megan checking our Facebook Messenger page. So it's not unmanageable at the moment, but it's certainly something we could revisit at a later date should it become an issue. Moving right along, authorization for supervisor to execute enterprise agreement. All of you should have been able to take a look and read this agreement. A couple changes were made. The vehicles in our fleet that normally our building department and our assessor's office would use, they were not four-wheel drive, they were smaller vehicles. So we upgraded those vehicles to four-wheel drive SUVs, and then we also downgraded the supervisor's vehicle, which was an F-150, to a smaller but still mid-sized vehicle, four-wheel drive. I know people that know me know that they'd be a little scared if they tried to see me drive a Ford F-150, so we certainly didn't want to hurt the town's insurance or having me trying to drive one of those trucks, but we're pretty much maybe a couple, I think it's $180 a month more when you take into account the upgrades to the other vehicles and the downgrades to the F-150. But does anyone have any questions, or are you guys okay authorizing me to sign that?
I'm okay.
I'm okay. I'll motion for you to sign it.
Okay, Councilman Brown would like to make a motion authorizing the supervisor to execute the enterprise contract.
You had a resolution for that.
Yeah,
Adopting a resolution.
There is a resolution.
Okay, I don't have it.
Authorizing the supervisor to certify information contained in the town's credit application to Enterprise Fleet Management Incorporated.
Okay, motion made by Councilman Brown. Do I have a second?
I'll
second
second it. Cindy.
Seconded by Cindy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carried. Thank you all very much. Next, the road bond reduction for Meadows at Pond's Edge. Do you guys have any questions about that one? Our attorney is here to explain it if you do.
Everybody get a copy?
Yep.
All right, would anyone like to make a motion adopting the resolution of the town board of the town of Montgomery authorizing the partial release of the Meadows at Pond's Edge subdivision section 2 performance bond for the development of public improvements?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Deputy Supervisor Feller, seconded by
Sherry.
Sherry Melick, Councilman Melick. All in favor?
Yeah. Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any abstaining? Motion carried. Thank you all very much. Last item on the agenda, aside from our audit.
I'm gonna have one thing to add.
You have one more to add? All right. Before we go to that, we'll do our resolution to create a position of part-time clerk for multiple departments. This is something that we floated in the past, to actually have a part-time floater in the building, someone who's cross-trained in different departments. The funding for this position would come from the building planning department. We do have the ability to fund this position, and we would have them at a 6-month probation period, starting at $16.50 an hour, and after the 6-month probation period, it would go up to $17.50 an hour. Again, this is more of a long-term thing. However, we thought it'd be prudent to pass it right now, just in case we get into an issue of availability of staff. We don't know which direction this is gonna go. This will give us some flexibility to have an open position to create a potential worker if we need some last-minute, emergency services. So it'll give us some flexibility in the interim, and it is part of our long-term plan. Would anyone
I'll
like
make
to?
that motion to create the position.
Okay, Cindy's gonna make the motion for the resolution of the town board of the town of Montgomery creating the position of part-time clerk at $16.50 per hour for the 6-month probation period, to be raised to $17.50 per hour if deemed appropriate by the town.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Deputy Supervisor Feller. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carried. Will, you had something to add?
Yes, the item that we discussed a little bit earlier about the ambulance corps,
Yes.
just so the board is aware, the ambulance corps' workers' comp policy is going to renew soon, and the supervisor's been speaking to them, whether, when they're gonna be paying the premium for that. Under applicable state law, even if we are going to, if we enter into a contract ultimately with the ambulance corps, we wanna make sure that they're gonna continue to carry their workers' comp insurance. Now, prior to the time where we enter into a formal agreement, what I'm recommending is, because there are provisions of state law that create an issue of the town's liability if one of the ambulance drivers or workers has a workers' comp claim before the formal contract is executed, I'm recommending that the board authorize the supervisor to sign a memorandum at this time confirming with the ambulance corps that they are going to continue to assume liability for their own workers' comp insurance. So that would really be the motion.
We had a discussion that Stephanie was a part of,
Right.
and before we make a motion,
Yeah.
I just wanna have that conversation with the ambulance corps, just to make sure we're on the same page. Is that all right, or do you need to
Well,
have this
what-
passed tonight?
I just want the board to give you authorization to sign a memo, assuming it's agreed to.
Okay,
Because I don't know, with everything that's going on, when we're gonna be able to convene again,
so we are not actually agreeing to anything, obviously, but you want the
No.
board to give me authorization to have me sign a memo, should both parties agree?
The only memo I'm talking about relates to workers' comp, not
Okay.
the overall contract.
Okay,
Just a memo confirming with the ambulance corps that they're going to remain liable at all times for their workers' comp insurance. That's it.
Okay.
Not the rest of the terms that we're gonna get into with them about the overall contractual relationship. I'm just limiting this specifically to their responsibility for their own workers' comp,
understood.
and that the town will not be responsible for that aspect.
And you're gonna draft the memo,
Yeah,
we'll have a
we've already
conversation with the
started-
ambulance corps.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just want, in case we come to an agreement, the board will already have authorized.
Permission
me.
for you to sign that memo.
All right, would anyone like to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Deputy Supervisor Feller, any second?
I'll second it.
Seconded by Councilwoman Cindy Voss, I believe.
That was Cindy.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Will. Audit number 3 of 2020. I believe most of you, if not all of you, actually did get a chance to review the bills. Would anyone like to make a motion to approve audit number 3 of 2020 in the amount of $11,079,012.37? And if anyone is confused by that number, that includes our pilot monies that we distribute to the districts. And that's why that number is so large, because we are the go-between for those funds. We didn't just spend all of our year's budget.
A lot of pilots.
Yeah.
Have you do them electronically?
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Sherry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sherry.
I was gonna just make the motion, Sherry.
Okay,
I reviewed them electronically, but I'll second it.
that's fine, Cindy. Yep. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? Motion carried. I will say that our vendors thank the town board for moving our audits to every 2 weeks as opposed to just once a month. It's certainly helping us with our relationships with our vendors. It's allowing checks to get out in time. So thank you for coming in and reviewing the bills more than you're usually used to. Thank you for that. Final thing is good of the order. There are some things I want to mention, but does anyone on the call have anything that they would like to speak about before we adjourn?
That's Ron. I just want to thank Megan. I'm right now I'm homebound, but she made a copy of all the vouchers and put together a package for me. I reviewed it. It was delivered by Sean. I appreciate Megan and Sean for their help in that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe you gave them to me electronically, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Ron, for
I want to thank Brian and all the people that are volunteering in this time of need. for
Thank
us.
you.
And I think Brian's doing a great job. You know.
We're a team.
And the one thing that I'd like to say is kudos to all of the town staff. I mean, I hung out at town hall, not a good amount. I mean, definitely not any more than Brian there, but been hanging out there and trying to help out where I can. And honestly, we have excellent staff at town hall that's really come together and tried to help out as many people as we can while trying to remain safe ourselves. So great job to our own staff.
I do appreciate everybody helping. I just want to remind everybody, social distancing. Be careful taking those pictures. I know they're nice to put on Facebook, but we're getting a little close together to take those pictures, so let's be careful.
Yeah, I know. I was a victim of that today too with the National Guard guys. But yeah, no, it's social distancing is real. It's definitely going to help prevent the spread of this disease, and we all need to practice that as we're doing right now, 6 feet apart.
Exactly.
All right, anybody else? I have some pretty cool shout outs I want to get to. First off, obviously our town employees have been tremendous. There's been some really amazing individuals going above and beyond, working from home, getting creative on getting the business of the town done, even though we're short-staffed. So I really just could not be more proud of our staff here at Town Hall and the work that they're doing. They're doing a tremendous job under the circumstances, and I'm just very honored to be supervisor and to work with some of these amazing people. Tara, your staff as well has just been tremendous. Thank you for the work you're putting in. And I think the residents are appreciating the robocalls and the information, and I just want to remind everyone who's watching live, our Town of Montgomery Facebook page, please like it. There's going to be a lot of information put out there from different sources. Some of it isn't really legitimate, so we want to make sure if you want the information, you want the facts from the CDC, from the New York State Department of Health, whatever Orange County's putting out, definitely go to the Town of Montgomery Facebook page, and we're going to continue to update you on the facts, on the information as they come in. I want to really thank our service organizations, our local churches, our Rotary Club, the Walden Community Council, the Fox Hill community, the Valley Central School District has been tremendous, and really some outstanding citizens. We've had Facebook pages pop up. One of them is the Montgomery Takeout Specials. This was created just a few days ago and now has over 1,000 individuals on it, and it's encouraging individuals from the town of Montgomery to dine in and shop local, curbside. So we can't really dine in and eat in locations, so the curbside pickup has been very much something we need to support, and our local business community and residents have done a really good job making sure it's important for everyone to know that we need to support our local businesses. And there's another group that was just created called Getting Groceries for the Greatest Generation. And it's targeted to individuals who have grandparents or have seniors that are on social media to let us know if they need help, and also to recruit the younger generation to help deliver groceries and help seniors or at-risk families in need. So I really want to thank Robbie Brown, Maggie Brother, Diggy Baxter, Faith Moore, Randy Green. The list goes on and on and on of the people who are really putting in some tremendous work, volunteering their time, just doing everything they can to make themselves available. And one thing that we are doing as a town is we're trying to be home base. We want everyone in the community to know, we've let every community organization know and every fire department, if you need help, call town hall. Call me and we will be a stopgap. We will help figure out if we can't help you, what organization can. And due to that type of camaraderie and the leadership of our county officials, Steve Newhouse, and those that are really helping advocate for us at the state level and the federal level, I think doing this together as a team, we're really gonna get through it. So I will, before we adjourn, have this final PSA, as I've been doing. If you have any individual or business that you believe is price gouging, please call 845-360-6700. If you're a business and you need relief, please call Orange County. Bill Fioravanti's been leading this effort. 845-802-9150. And last but not least, if you are showing mild to severe respiratory symptoms, cough, fever, trouble breathing, pneumonia, please do not present yourself to a healthcare facility. Instead, please call your healthcare provider first and/or the New York State Department of Health coronavirus hotline at 888-364-3065. All of this information is on our Facebook page, and we will continue to be creative getting the word out to our community. And if you have any issues, please call Town Hall. We are here to help you. With that being said, would anyone like to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion, Kristen.
Kristen made the motion, Sherry second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Have a good night.
All right,
Thank you.
Will, you got something else to say?
Just if you want to discuss, unless something changes, the next board meeting is going to be around the same type of arrangements.
Correct, yes. Although we hope that this is the last time we have a meeting like this, where we don't have the public, until further notice, we'll be meeting like this. All right, and we are now
Hey,
adjourned.
Barney, if you need me to sign checks tomorrow, somebody can drop them off and I'll sign and I'll give them to me. If you want
Thanks, Ron.
to pass the counter and sign the checks.
I'll let you
Call me
know.
down in the morning when, okay?
We'll do a house visit.
And,
We'll bring some Fruit Loops.
Good. Donuts.
Donuts, okay, now you're getting fancy.
All right.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, night.
Good night.
Take care. Be well. Is Ron so forth?
Yes, 14 days.